With the Arizona Cardinals playoff dreams pretty much in the dumps, the Arizona Cardinals right now have 4 games to complete the 2024 season. Although there is a lot to fight for, currently right now the division seems pretty much out of hand because a lot of things need to go right for the Arizona Cardinals to be within contention to try to even make the NFC West push, let alone the playoffs. Today, we're going to be diving into Kyler Murray in his latest media session this Wednesday about how he feels about the Patriots and the future of the Arizona Cardinals. Let's get started. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video. Today, we're going to be diving into Kyler Murray's Wednesday press conference. If you did not know, ladies and gentlemen, every Wednesday, Kyler Murray speaks to the media about obviously the things that happened in the prior games as well as what's currently happening in these practices that are currently happening, getting ready here for the New England Patriots. And this week is no different here, right? Now, before we get started, let me give a huge shout out here to the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan. That's going to be none other than BetUS. If you're looking for a brand new sports book, BetUS is the way to go. Currently, right now, if you use promo code YouTube150 upon signing up, they will provide you with a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit and a 125% sign-up bonus on the following two. That's going to be using promo code YouTube150 upon signing up. Of course, bet responsibly and bet within your means. But ladies and gentlemen, let's go and dive right into it. Let's listen into what Kyler Murray had to say on his Wednesday presser. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm starting to kind of feel a little bad here for Kyler Murray with some specific clips that we're going to be diving into today. And let's get started here. Of course, he first opens up the presser with, with a smile on his face. I got no issue with it personally, but let's listen into what he had to say about obviously what happened on Sunday and what's currently happening on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Let's dive into it.
Oh, it's tough. It's tough. Tough part is understanding the opportunity that we had. Kind of, felt like we didn't give them our best at all. Either opportunity that we had to play against them. Not only that, just the implications that were part of the game. Obviously, we weren't thinking about that, but we understood what was at stake. But to let it go and not play our best is. That was the tough part. Obviously, it stings, hurts, but we got to get over it. Put all the energy into New England coming in here on Sunday. Obviously, last year we were kind of in the same similar situation as them, and went on the road to Pittsburgh, Philly, and just they're going to come here and play hard. We understand that, and we got to be ready to go.
And I'm not going to lie to you, ladies and gentlemen, here, this New England Patriot team, although a 3-win team, this is a tough team, especially defensively. Now, of course, you've seen some flashes here and there from Drake May, and this is not going to be an easy win for what we thought as Cardinal fans 3 or 4 weeks ago when we were 6-4, right, in the bye week. So right now, where the Cardinals are currently standing, it almost does feel like we're in the brink of teeter-totting with the idea of, is Kyler Murray going to be the future of the Cardinals moving forward? Now, technically, he probably most likely will be the quarterback for 2025, of course, because of contracts, and it would probably be really, really hard to move off of. But something he actually mentioned in this clip here was the idea that although everybody knew what was at stake, and I've heard this within the coaches and the players as well, like with what we wanted as fans was, and here's the thing, I think they acknowledge what was at stake, but they almost kind of treat like every single game like the next big game, right? And all those, to a sense, that's correct, and that's the way that you should be looking at every single game as it comes along. But we can't ignore the fact that this game here, the second game in Week 14 versus the Seattle Seahawks, was pretty much in the division, and how we played was bad, right? Unfortunately, the defense couldn't make a stop. We know what happened with Kyler Murray's performance. The O-line was very, very shaky, and the Cardinals never really seemed like they were in any contention to try to, you know, push a lead or try to catch up. I know we heard Jonathan Gannon say that they kept fighting, and Kyler Murray said that they kept fighting, but, I don't know. To me, I just never felt like the Cardinals were ever in any sort of momentum was on their side. We're going to go ahead and keep chugging along, and we're going to, take the lead right back. I never felt that way. Unfortunately, you blinked your eyes, and the Cardinals were down 17-7 within like 2 or 3 minutes. It was absolutely nuts. So I definitely understand the model and the culture that Jonathan Gannon's tried to bring, where the next week is going to be the next important game. But man, this last game was a heartbreaker, man. It really was. And although I would love for these players to acknowledge that, that they got to kind of, turn the page and focus on to New England, because they can still technically accomplish a winning season. Now, of course, if that doesn't happen, we're going to have some very uncomfortable topics this coming off season, but we'll have to kind of wait and see what happens. We got 4 games left. We got 2 winnable games, and then we got some, 2 division games here to end the season, with the Rams probably pissed off that we absolutely obliterated them the first time, and then the 49ers that we beat them without Jake Moody. So they're probably going to come for blood. I'm not going to lie to you. This is not going to be an easy uh, you know, remaining of the 2024 schedule, but here we go. Let's see what the Cardinals end up doing, and hopefully they finish off strong. Now, I did mention in the intro that I feel a little bad about Kyler Murray. Now, I'm going to play this clip right here. It's continuing to talk about why he feels like he let the team down. Now, Marvin Harrison Jr. also spoke to the media today on Wednesday as well. And he was actually coming out and saying it's not all on Kyler. Right now, obviously, Kyler Murray blames himself for the idea that he lost his game pretty much for the Cardinals organization. Marvin is an absolute stud, an absolute great human being. He's always going to come to the aid of his teammates. And he pretty much said it's not all his fault. But this is basically Kyler Murray doubling down. And this is the clip that I was talking about, that I feel actually a little bit bad for Kyler Murray, because you can hear it in his voice. And I like to kind of read between the lines. I've done this with Petzing. I've done this with Jonathan Gannon. And of course, now we're doing this with Kyler Murray. But this is exactly what he had to say about, obviously, him feeling like he let the team down.
Felt like you let the team down.
Yeah.
Have you or your teammates done anything to pick you up?
Oh, I mean, I don't need anybody thinking the world is ending. My confidence will never waver in myself at all. And that's just what it is. Honestly, I'd rather you not text me, because I'm okay.
That last clip, that last portion, the last 3 or 5 seconds, I'd rather you not text me, because I'm gonna be okay, right? It almost kind of seems like, I might be speaking here to the male side of it all, and I'm not sure, or I guess the male subscribers. There might be some females that can relate to this as well, but males, we are very, very, or at least me growing up, I grew up in an ethnic family. If you don't know, I'm actually Hispanic, and you always kind of grew up with that, I always used to be told that there's no crying in baseball, right? So emotions really wasn't a thing. And when you did, you always kind of got looked at a certain way. It was really, really weird. But I can kind of relate to the way that his voice cracked at the end of this specific clip, because it almost seems like we're talking about a guy that has basically the world on his shoulders, right? And it's a tough position to play. Quarterback is an absolute tough position to play. And I'm not going to come out here and say that I'm not one of those guys that were bagging on Kyler Murray. Let's call it like it is, right? I think I'm ready to move on. But honestly, me trying to relate to the human side of it all, I do feel bad, because I don't know. I kind of feel like Kyler Murray needs to reach out. But if something is not making sense, if he feels like he can't do something, I don't know. I feel like there's just the communication cross wires, because that end part, right? And I'm gonna play it back again, because I can relate to when somebody's asking me a question and I'm frustrated, and sometimes that frustration leads to sadness, or so frustrated that you can't even speak. That last little 3 seconds of this clip that I'll replay again reminds me as to kind of something similar to my personal life, as to why my voice cracked in that situation. Let me play it right back.
Felt like you let the team down.
Yeah.
Have you or your teammates done anything to pick you up?
Oh, I mean, I don't need anybody thinking the world is ending. My confidence will never waver in myself at all. And that's just what it is. Honestly, I'd rather you not text me, because I'm okay.
I'd rather you not text me, right? Because I'm okay. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm reading too much into these lines here, but we know Kyler Murray is a very, very specific type of personality, right? He's not the rah-rah. He's not the clubbing guy. He's not the guy that's the outgo. He leads by example, right? That is Kyler Murray's mantra. And I don't know, man. Something about that last clip, definitely a lot of frustration. Definitely a lot of, I don't know, almost kind of like he wanted to say something else, but of course, pride got in the way, and it related to this. So I do feel bad, man. I really do. I really feel bad. It's a tough job. It's one of those things that I just hope that with what we're hearing about communication going back and forth, it truly is. Because if he's truly struggling with something, and we've mentioned it before, that there's been a lot of things, man. There's been a lot of things that have not been up to par, and I just hope that they figure it out at the end of the day, because so far it's not trending in the right direction. Now I want to go and play this last clip here. Or actually, no, I got two more clips. One more is just basically kind of talking about how awkward some of these questions. Not, I'm sorry, these responses from Kyler Murray was. Now, this one specifically, I want to go ahead and bring up here, but there was multiple instances where Kyler Murray just didn't want to open up very much at all. Like, there were 1 to 2 word answers, and sometimes the media member were like, okay, is there anything more? And literally, that was it, right? This is one of the clips that I wanted to bring up.
Been really good this year, both off of play action and when the play call kind of moves the pocket. I'm thinking of the touchdown to Mike. Is there anything that's more comfortable for you in those situations rather than a straight drop back?
No.
And here's the thing, like, it's a fair question, right? Because obviously that reporter's voice, I can kind of recognize, like, that was the same reporter that ended up asking Drew Petzing about that same rollout, and what can you do about rollouts, or can you help out Kyler Murray do something, right? And of course, the question that was asked about rollouts or dropping back, like, what do you prefer, or do you prefer this over that? Just no, and just doesn't elaborate, right? Doesn't elaborate, almost doesn't, almost he doesn't want to give too much, which is fine, right? It's fine at the end of the day, but right now, man, he's under a microscope. Kyler's under a microscope right now, and I'm not sure if he's feeling the pressure, but it's getting to the point where almost every post on social media is saying something about this Arizona Cardinals organization, or potentially a quarterback change, right? And now, of course, there's a portion of the Cardinal fan base that is backing Kyler no matter what. Keep doing what y'all doing, man. But if it doesn't change, it can get bad here pretty quickly. Now, let's move on to this last clip here. Of course, the media ends up asking Kyler Murray about, how he's been playing under pressure compared to, the first portion. And then after the bye week, there's been a differenceness when it comes down to pressure. And this is what Kyler Murray had to say about that.
Yes. I don't know what they are, but again, I think it's just the inconsistency. I think, honestly, the Vikings game, I thought we moved the ball well. Thought I was playing really well. Obviously, the numbers say I got 2 picks. And then this week, like I said, besides you got the 2 picks, and then I felt like we moved the ball well after that. I think we had 2 3-and-outs that were kind of timely and crucial, but I don't really know the numbers or anything like that. I'm just trying to go out there, execute, play better, which has to be done. We want to win.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. It's funny because when I'm talking about the Cardinals, right, a lot of the words that I'm hearing Kyler Murray or Drew Petzing or Jonathan Gannon, even before they're even talking, are specific words that I've mentioned over and over and over and over again. And I'm not saying, oh, they're listening. No, that's not what I'm saying. But basically, that is the word to describe this offense, right? Inconsistent, right? That's exactly what it is. When Kyler Murray is doing good, you ride and die with the play of Kyler Murray. If he does really well, then most of the time the Cardinals will win. If he doesn't do good and he has a bad game, sometimes it's hard to get out of that funk and pull yourself back into get back within this game. Right now, obviously Kyler Murray has addressed the fact that they've been inconsistent, and if they want to win games, they are going to need to find a way to be consistent. And that's kind of concerning to me, because we're not talking about we're in week 4 or week 5, and I still remember multiple subscribers came out and said, give them a break, give Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr., that connection, a break. Give Kyler Murray a break, because this is his first official year, under the Drew Petzing offense. And here's the kicker, ladies, and we're still dealing with the same issues here in week 14, now heading into week 15 versus the Patriots, and nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. It's unfortunate, right? I didn't want the season to turn out the way that it is. And it's not the fact that, like, I'm not talking about the 6-7 record. It's the play. It's the play that's that's happening for the Cardinals to be in the situation that they're currently in, right? You were 6-4, and now you are in a 3-game losing streak when you just came off a 4-game winning streak. And it almost kind of feels like deja vu because the Cardinals crash and burn under the Cliff Kingsbury slash Kyler Murray regime. And now that Cliff's gone, you only have one person to point to now, and it's your quarterback. So it's one of those things that if he wants to stay long term, and I'm talking about 2026 and on, they need to figure this out, man. They need to figure this out. It's and it's another thing too. Like, he doesn't have the numbers on top of his head, and I don't expect him to have the numbers on top of his head. But like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just one of those things, man. You just got to get better. You got to get better. Like the whole offense, and not just you, right? I keep saying you, but like I'm talking about the whole offense in general. Petzing, offensive line, the flow of this offense still feels clunky. It still feels like if we are throwing the ball past the sticks, 15, 20 yards, heck, even 30 yards, whenever the heck that happens, it feels like it's lucky. Like it was a lucky thing because you're probably never going to see that. You're probably never going to see that in that game or in the next 3 or 4 games because that's not what we do. And I don't understand it. I do not get why this offense isn't functioning to the level that we all thought was going to, right? Marvin Harrison Jr., although having a really good rookie season, to me, I know there's some people out there saying that he doesn't have Jamar Chase or all these other, Jefferson numbers. I still do think he's having a fantastic start to his season. 7 touchdowns, 655 yards right now around there. He's fantastic. He's doing good. He's going to get better and better. He's very, very, smart, backing his QB. He's doing everything he needs to do. He's a pro. I'm excited about Marvin Harrison Jr.'s future, but man, with what we're hearing so far with Kyler Murray, I want to believe that everything will be able to get fixed. But honestly, I don't know. It's one of those things that I'm going to have to wait to see, right? Show me, right? Don't tell me. Show me. And hopefully things get better fast because you got 4 games. And if somehow this Patriots game doesn't end up working out for the Cardinals, the noise will only get louder. It will only get louder. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be closing up shop right here. What are your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen? What are your thoughts? Now, about that awkward clip, there's been multiple instances on that specific press conference about specific, things that were asked. Either Kyler Murray didn't want to give more details, or they were just 1 or 2 word answers, right? A little bit of awkwardness from him towards the media. Don't know if there's specific people he doesn't like to talk to. I don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts here about Kyler Murray and what he feels, about the Arizona Cardinals here, chances against the Patriots this coming Sunday? Do you believe we got a chance to get this season corrected? And I mean, going back on the winning side? Let me know in the comments below, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day and go Cardinals.